Welcome back to my web development tutorial. In the previous videos, we talked about what we're going to talk about in this channel. And we also talked about, different lists, ordered and unordered lists, and the header elements, and, basic things like that. In today's video, we want to talk about the anchor element. What is the anchor element? Well, the anchor element, with its most common attribute, href, is basically used to link to something else, right? Basically, all it does is that it creates a hyperlink in your website, right? Let's say you want to click on a hyperlink and you want to go to a different web page, or you want to go to a different file, or you want to open an address, like email address, or you want to click on it and you want to jump down or up to a different part of the same web page, right? And basically any other thing that you can possibly think of that by clicking something you can do something else, then that would be what falls into the anchor element category. Well, it's good to know that the href is only an attribute, right? And there is also other attributes that I will talk about, some of them briefly. But href is the most common attribute that people think of when they think about the anchor element. Two tips here. One is that if there is no href provided, if you just use the anchor element, right, what's going to happen is that it's just going to be a placeholder for your hyperlink. And the second tip that I have for you is that a link page is basically displayed in the current window, as we will see. I'll do a demonstration. And if you want to create a new window when you click on it, then you'll have to tell it to do that. And some other attributes other than the href, which are also common, but obviously not as common as the href, or the download attribute, which basically when you click on the hyperlink, it has a target and it goes and download the target. There one is ping, which is basically a ping command, right? And it's used for tracking. There is so many of them. If you just do a little Google search, we'll see that there is tons of them out there. But as I said, probably href is the only thing that you will gonna deal with, right? Anyway, let's get started. If I open my Visual Studio Code, and this is my target, this is what I want to make. I want to have things like this, that if I click on it, go to the Google web page, if I click here, it goes to GitHub. If I click here, it shows me the email address so that I can email a person. Here is just your phone number. And then here is a resource directory, right? And let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that we have here is this guy in here, up here, useful links and contact info. I want to do that with the P tag, which is the paragraph. You've seen this before. We talked about it in the previous video. So I'm just going to go useful links and contact info, for example, right? And then we can start with our list. As you can see, it's an unordered list. So I just go UL for unordered list, right? And the first list item, LI, what is it? So it's an anchor element. I just go A, right? I don't close it yet because I'm not done. So I just go href, it has it here, href, and here I provide the link, right? And then I close it, it automatically closes it too. And then I can just do whatever I want. I can just go Google, or I can just go website one. This, what you put here between the open tag and the close tag, is what you see here. But when you click here, where does it go? To where you provide the href. So if I go here and go, for example, I don't know, google.com, and open the website, I can just copy the URL and come back here and put the URL in here, right? HTTPS. It doesn't necessarily have to be an HTTPS. It can be whatever. But well, this is Google, so it's HTTPS. And we can do the same thing. We can just go for the GitHub, for example, we can go list item and open it a href, right? And I basically do the same thing, and then I close it, and then I go GitHub, for example. And I'm assuming that GitHub would be the same thing, just instead of Google, we go GitHub, right? So this is what we have so far. If I open it, right? If I open the directory that I have everything here, and this is the solution, right? And if I double click on this guy and open it, you'll see that like, well, let's not open the solution because it already has everything that I wanted to tell you. And let's open, whatchamacallit. Let's open the practice, because practice is what we're working on. And you can see these too. So if I click on Google, it opens Google website for me. Cool. We did that, right? If I go back and do GitHub, then it obviously opens the GitHub website for me. That's cool. That's what we wanted to see. So it's working. Perfect. Let's continue with the other items that we need to add to our list. The next one is the email me, right? So it's basically the same thing. You can just go list item a href, right? And then if I close it, I can just go email me, for example. And then here you provide an email address, right? You go just like email equals, I don't know, like coding buddy is guild@gmail.com, for example, or whatever, right? And the other thing that we need to add is another list item and another anchor element with href something. And then we can go, for example, call me and the number, I don't know, like it's +1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0 1, right? And then like you can basically do the same thing here. You can just like copy this just to show you that it doesn't have to be exactly the same thing, right? Obviously, you can do something like that, right? And just go tell is that. So we have that too. And for resources, let's do something like this. If I go li and my anchor element, href, and if I close it here and I go in resources, right? And here, instead of, providing all these information, I can just like go to a different directory. So as you can see here, my VS Code is open here. So you can see that in my web dev environment, which is like the directory that I'm working at right now, I have directory 1 and I have directory 2 inside directory 1, right? So I can just go, I don't know, go to directory 1 and then directory 2. It's just like a relative path that from where you are, go inside this directory. So if you have something in that directory, for example, the pic.jpg or something, you can use that to like download it, or I don't know, do something else with that. And so that should be it. If I close the solution and if I open the practice here, if I go here, well, one way to do it is just like the way that I showed you. You can just go here, like open it, like double click it open it using any basically web browser, Google Chrome, Mozilla, Firefox, or whatever you want, right? You can just do that. Or just to see that you have the right thing, you can just go here and say show preview, and it's going to show me this, which is basically the same thing as before, right? We tried them, and for example, to check this last one, to make sure that it works, if I click on the resources, it says index of directory 1, directory 2. Inside this directory, there is like this file, the size of the file, date in modified, all the information about the file can be found here. That's all we needed to talk about when it comes to anchor elements. And hopefully it was very straightforward and easy for you guys to follow. Make sure that you get enough practice. Make sure that until I upload the next video, you practice whatever we've covered so far. And maybe try to, add some hyperlink to your CV project that we talked about, or any other project that you might be interested in. And if you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, and if you found it useful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos. And thank you for watching me. See you guys all in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Bye bye.